Todd, why did the motorcycle go Black Friday shopping?
I have no idea.
It needed a break from all the riding.
Oh,
Our goal at Best Motorcycle Roads is to make your next motorcycle trip the best it can be. The bottom line is, if you have motorcycle people in your circles, get them something motorcycle for Christmas, man.
perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe we should start with we're going to do 10 Black Friday-ish motorcycle gifts that you can get for the motorcycle lover in your family.
Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily Black Friday, but
Yeah.
leading up to Christmas, anytime for
We're going to
Christmas.
release this near Black Friday, so
Oh,
you can
perfect.
feel good about it.
There you go.
2024. So
And we've got a variety of price ranges
Yep.
too. Anything from free to $500, right?
yes,
Okay,
that's about
perfect.
right. And I'm sure you can spend more if you try hard.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with one that's a great one, and you don't think about it always, especially if you're in the middle north. But our number 10 idea is a kickstand pad.
Mm-hmm.
And so kickstand's pad is kind of what you think it is. It's a plastic, generally speaking, pad that goes underneath your kickstand. And where it's important is when it gets hot. And sometimes if it's muddy, if you end up having to park in a grass, a grass field, which does happen from time to time. So it basically just creates a bigger surface for your bike to kind of lean on and doesn't let the kickstand drill itself into the ground.
Right. Like a puck, right?
Which I believe when we came from
Nashville,
Nashville, we did come back to, I think one of our guys' bikes was literally in the asphalt. And
mine
you just
was.
don't realize that it's oh my, this thing really did that.
Yeah. It was so hot that day. My kickstand was buried in the pavement.
In the pavement.
It's a gold
and it was
wing,
a street. It was just on the street, right?
Yeah. Gold wing, but it's heavy, so it.
And then if you want to go pro tip, and this is a pro tip for all kickstand pads, but grab a 5-foot piece of paracord to go with it. And what you do is some kickstand pads have a hole, some need to get a hole drilled into them. But you put paracord in, and then two reasons. Most of the time, because of the way I've learned this lesson was I left the kickstand pad back there.
Yep.
And then the second thing is to get your kickstand pad out. The easy way is get on your bike, lean it back up, but then it's really hard to reach down and grab the kickstand pad. So yeah, you attach the paracord on, and then you can just reel it up.
Yeah, so you put the paracord on and wrap it around your handlebars.
I usually just make a loop so that I see it and remember it.
Oh yeah.
Or at least it makes a jingling sound when it's careening down the road after I take off with it on there. And then what's nice about most of them, they're so small that they just wrap up and then can either fit in a tank bag or just a quick stick bag. But and there's some fun ones too. I mean, they have some plain ones. They have some that look like a foot. They have some ones that look like you put your kickstand on a frog and his eyes are bulging out. So it depends on the person that you're kind of buying for. But
so this is a perfect stocking stuffer for a motorcycle rider that
absolutely
that you want to get something for, right?
And you're talking with the paracord probably under $20.
Yeah. Perfect.
Number 9.
All right, the number 9 idea for the motorcycle person in your life. This will be a stocking stuffer. Would be a flashlight that has some sort of a movable or flexible head, so that when they pull over, it's dark. They can either use that to if it has a magnet, magnetize it onto the side of the motorcycle, and then bend the flexible head to wherever they need, or set it on the ground. Some of them have a little stand, or it's like a little clamshell.
Yeah.
Something like that. Even a headlamp would work too. But what else do you think about?
Yeah, I mean, I just I have a bunch of small ones that I usually carry, but they're so small sometimes that it's in your mouth. You're trying to move your head and see, and it just doesn't work very well.
Or you have to have someone else hold it for you.
Yeah, we know how that ends up. So no, I mean, it's just a great, easy, cheap. Probably $15 or less.
Yeah.
And then LED is always good, since the LEDs have really come on the scene. I mean, they last forever. I mean, you don't have to worry about the batteries dying and things like that.
You have to worry about the battery exploding inside of it.
That's true. Sometimes even rechargeable, which is nice too. So on the number 8 spot of our best gifts for motorcycle peoples is something that we would call, I guess, a motorcycle dolly. So if you can imagine a 2x4 with a little leg off it. So you basically ride into a small channel, and then you can put your kickstand down, and the kickstand goes on this kind of the leg that kicks out. So what it's for is to easily move your bike around in a smaller space.
Hmm.
There's different versions. There's some that have like a wheel chock attached. There's some that most of them usually put it in the kickstand position now.
Hmm.
And so basically what happens then is it just has little dolly wheels on it. You get it up there, you set it down, you kind of you can adjust so it's adjusted for your bike. But once you get it adjusted, then you ride up on it and then you put your kickstand down and then you kind of can get off and roll it around. I mean,
Hmm.
you have a situation that this is perfect for, right?
Yeah, and I haven't purchased one yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get one today.
Well, maybe you'll get one for Christmas after Black Friday, Todd.
Maybe I should wait. Yeah. So I just have a 2-stall garage. Plus I've got my Goldwing motorcycle. The good news is right in front of my vehicle, there's enough room to park it.
So it's
Um,
deep enough,
It's deep enough. Yeah. But
barely.
I can park it perpendicular in front of the car and behind the car, which are the way I pulled
Sure.
in, but between the wall in the car, but side to side, there's not a lot of space because I have like a tool kit on one side and some
Sure.
file cabinets. So I really need to slide it into place, and this type of dolly would be perfect.
And because like you just can't kind of maneuver it. And then the other thing that's
Yeah.
really nice is you can spin the bike around,
Yeah.
too. So, I mean, sometimes again, they're small based on the driveways and all that junk. You can just spin it around for you. So
Yeah.
one of the places that has a great deal on these is Harbor Freight. It's just one of their, it's a 1,250 pound, which pretty much covers most motorcycles.
Yeah.
That's $120. Now they do have some really nice aluminum, nicer ones. You can spend your way all the way up to 400 or so dollars.
Mhm.
But honestly, they seem like they all pretty much work the same. And then on the ends, they usually have some sort of a mechanism that chocks the wheels and kind of gets the dolly wheels off. So then they can't move,
Yeah.
which is handy. So, but
Yeah.
it's great for situations like yours, or even if you had a bigger space, but you kind of want to like get everything a little tighter for like
Mhm.
storage.
Yeah.
Another great option.
Well, and like you said, depending on driveways, if someone's on a steep driveway, they
gosh.
don't want to back out,
No.
roll backwards. So if you
Exactly.
can just spin the motorcycle around and then head out that way.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But I can do a report on this after I get one because I am going to get one very soon.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7 best gift.
So yeah, we're kind of talking about a dolly, but this is a motorcycle lift
Mhm.
for people who want to work on their motorcycle, need to get both tires up off the ground.
So oil changes,
Oil
tire
changes.
maintenance, those kind of things.
Yeah, all that stuff. When you don't want it leaning on a kickstand, you need, you want it to be flat and square.
Yep.
So they make small ones that just like well, go ahead and explain.
Well, and I
more
can tell you
familiar with
too.
this, Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 sizes essentially. You got what I would call the small, and then you kind of I call it a tabletop. It's not
Mhm.
really, but so one of them you basically drive your entire motorcycle up and on, and it has dropouts for like changing tires if you go that far. But you can kind of lift it up and down for yourself, and that like both wheels would sit on it. You drive up, it'd be like 2 or 3 inches off, probably 5 inches off the ground, and then you can jack it up, and it'll lift the whole entire motorcycle.
Mhm.
The small ones are, if think about a 2x2 square, and those then you roll it under your motorcycle, and then you lift it up, and that's very common for like oil changes and things. But
Mhm.
what it's really nice for too, Todd, and this one I'd probably suggest the bigger one for, is just getting to eye level with your bike. Sometimes like when you're working on
Yeah.
trying to do all these things, it's so low, and like
Mhm.
you're trying to run a wire somewhere, and it's just a really pain. So the big ones, Harbor Freight, $500. The small ones aren't a whole lot cheaper at $200 because they both kind of have to lift the same weight.
Mhm. Mhm.
And again, you can spend a lot more or a lot less. You can spend a lot more and get ones that are pneumatic and raise up, the big ones. And most of the small ones are just like a foot lever jack.
Yeah.
So they're really handy. If your motorcycle people in your family do their own work, this is a must, for sure.
And do the small ones still lift the amount of weight? I mean,
Mhm.
if you have a heavier bike.
Yeah, they do. But they're just, I wouldn't be, what you don't get with those is like if you were trying to like take apart your fairings or something, they're not quite as stable as the big
yeah,
ones. So
yeah.
that's kind of the big difference
That
there.
totally makes sense.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that one was our most expensive one there at 7. So the number 6 idea is something that we've all had a few of, but you go through them, every once in a while. It's a motorcycle cover. So there's basically 2 versions, right?
Mhm. Yeah, there's a full cover that covers from the top of the motorcycle all the way down under the wheels or
Okay.
down to the pavement. Excuse me, and then a half cover,
Right.
which is something that I use quite a bit. And it's just really to take the sun off your bike and kind of keep people from looking maybe at all the stuff that's on your bike. So wraps over the top, but it really just goes down to about seat level. And that's
Doesn't
about
cover the wheels.
doesn't
then.
cover the wheels or the bottom part of the frame
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
And those run anywhere from $30 to $99. Not really. I mean, the half and the full are about the same price.
Mhm.
And it really just kind of depends on the quality
Yeah.
of what you get. But we do like the half, especially even when we're on a trip. Just depending on the time of year, sometimes you get just dew and wetness from the overnight.
And just keep the sun from baking on it if it's sitting outside during the day.
Right. And even when it rains, it's nice because then
Very
it keeps
nice,
everything
yeah.
dry. But
Mhm.
to your point too, I really like that like the electronics they get, people don't see them. The way we have them all attached, they can't really come off, but like I don't really need someone with a screwdriver trying to decide if it can come either. So
Yeah.
that's
And I really like the one that I have. It's a real thin nylon.
yeah.
Because one of my first covers was like a canvas, and boy, you wrap that whole thing up and it was a full cover. It would take up a whole side bag, or my trunk. It would take up the whole space.
Well, I'm glad you said that too, because there's another piece, and sometimes some of them are a little stretchy, and that's good because I know when I relocated my
yeah.
trunk back a little bit, things got a little tighter too. But it is, I like kind of the look when they're
Mhm.
stored. And even if for the like if they're storing bikes over the winter, the full one
Oh,
is
yeah.
nice. It just kind of
Keep the
keeps
dust off.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, what do you have at number 5 best gift for a motorcycle lover,
So,
Todd?
kind of a fun one here. A Lego motorcycle kit,
Yeah.
actually. There's all different numbers of pieces for difficulty level, and you could spend anywhere from $20 for a little motorcycle one up to 100.
Yeah.
And those may have 1,000 pieces in
There,
them, too.
there was one I
Yeah.
saw with 1,000 pieces, and those are like I think the Technic. I think that's what they're called, the Technic
Mhm.
models. They're pretty realistic
Yeah, they
looking.
are.
I mean, now I'm kind of interested. I might have to put one of those on my list.
Yeah.
And they have a bunch of different models, which is cool. So, like, if you're thinking about this, maybe try to sneak a peek at what brand of motorcycle your person has, and then maybe be able to find the model and
Mhm.
then color. But this was fun thing we found, and it's just something different.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
it's hard to find things for everyone to buy, right?
Mhm.
The next item is number 4, gift that we probably you got to have, right? It's either battery tender and or like a battery jump pack.
Mhm.
The jump pack has gotten so small these days. They're just so handy. And I think some of the jump packs actually maybe even come with like a tire inflator as well.
Mhm.
And so we're talking about the difference between $99 and $35. Battery tenders are good for bikes when they're going to sit for a little while. They just keep the battery from going dead.
I use one all the time.
Yeah, it's really good. And a lot of times they'll have a quick connector that comes with them so
That's
you
what I
can,
do, yep.
yeah, plug in really nice and easy. And the jump packs are just basically a small battery that helps you jump start if something happens. The other thing that's jump packs now also have is USB, so you can use them to charge things.
Mm.
I like doing that now, and I wired my old dang bike to have full power, some power, and then I use the jump pack to charge up my headset. Oh, when we're braking anyway, so
Mhm.
I'm not sure why I did all that work, but what about our number 3 item, which you can buy for your motorcycle person
Yeah,
for holidays?
it's nice to get them a kit for cleaning
Yeah.
motorcycle. You can get all the detailing products, put them in a little basket or put them in a bag. Everything from, waxes to, things for cleaning the plastic, like the windshield,
Yep.
to polish those. And
Well, and cleaning the windshield is important because we do it a lot, but you got to be careful because it can scratch pretty easily, the
Mhm.
plastic. And I'd used the chemical guys stuff before, but there's tons of these. It doesn't just have to be them, but their stuff is pretty quality product. But yeah, and this is like $12. You can get a kit all the way up to like $150.
Mhm.
And even like I was thinking conditioning, seat conditioner too, like especially if it's leather,
Mhm.
you just keep all those things really nice. And it's a nice thing. And they probably have some of these things already, but it's cool. Like microfiber towels. There's just a lot that goes into it. The things that don't scratch.
And one thing I've noticed too with bikes I've had, when they sit in the sun a lot, like the plastic parts on the handlebars where your switches are, or even maybe at the back tire where there's a bit of a fender that's
Yeah.
black, those start to bleach out and get
They
a little
do.
white. And there's products out there, I think it's McGuire's or Mother's, that makes it's called Back to Black.
Yeah.
And just put a little on the red. Yeah. put a little on the rag and wipe those things down, and they do. They look black again. It's pretty nice.
I think it's, the sun, the UV it probably just fills in whatever the heck that thing pulls out of it. I know
Mhm.
you can use a flame, I've heard too, but
Oh, really?
you want to be careful with
Yeah,
that, I'm sure.
that's sure I would try it.
We're not going to recommend it, but it does, I think, work if you watch the YouTubes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what comes in at number 2 is something that a couple of our people that have added onto their bikes is, I'm going to call it a motorcycle computer. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's basically CarPlay and Android Auto for your bike.
Mhm.
So this usually attaches to the handlebar somewhere, and it's basically it connects to your phone. And so, we've talked about this a little, especially in the motorcycle statistics episode about riding safer, right? I mean, so what this does is it Bluetooths to your phone and your headset and allows you to kind of communicate to this computer to say,
Mhm.
hey, read me that text message, or puts your Google Maps on there. And so you don't have to have your phone up there. And one nice thing about that is then you can put the phone away. It's a little bit safer. It can be charging in your back on the jump pack. And while it's doing that, though, you can still interact with this device, but it's more of a simplified interface
Mhm.
for maps and everything. Because I mean, as it comes, everything's maps these days.
Right.
Like we use these devices for everything.
Yeah. And those would even, if you had a headset and you're like a Bluetooth
Correct.
headset inside your helmet, you could Bluetooth it that way as
Yep.
well, right?
Yeah. Well, and you still Bluetooth your phone, but then you also Bluetooth
Yeah.
the headset. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can Bluetooth
Perfect.
both. And so then you can do music, you can do audio controls, and a lot of times it'll do the voice commands,
Mhm.
which is the thing we really recommend. And it's funny because I have an Android device in my car, and actually on my motorcycle it's built in, so I have a thumb switch that I can actually navigate. And I find myself trying to figure out how to navigate my one in the car.
The car.
It's like, come on, car people, like let's get with it. But
Yeah.
these can be had. The add-on ones are $130 to $99. Some of them include cameras with them so that people can, take video all in one. And some of them even do tire pressure sensor
Mhm.
monitoring. So if it's an older bike, this is a great option, especially for people that are kind of techie and
Mhm.
reasonably priced on it. I mean, for the most part, too.
Yeah. You said 99. You said
130 to 199,
199.
depending
Okay,
on the
yeah.
features.
Yeah.
If it has the cameras and the tire pressure sensors, it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
But those are, again, nice things to see. I know you can get tire pressure sensors. It's kind of a bonus one that is Bluetooth and attached to your phone. It'll give you an alert if they're low, which is nice.
Yeah.
But this is just one of those things you can check it and see.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure.
what do we have coming in at our number 1 favorite?
Our number one favorite has to be Bohn body armor.
It's so good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this a lot, I'm sure, for a little while here, but it's I'm frustrated with my gear for so long.
Mhm.
And now that I have the Bohn body armor, it is so amazing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting some myself. I don't have it yet, but I'm looking forward to getting
We'll
some.
have good news for you, Todd.
Okay.
We talked to the Bohn body armor people, and they're going to give our listeners and our viewers 20% discount
Oh,
for Black Friday week.
nice.
So Tuesday the 26th through the 2nd of December, if you use the coupon code BMR Holiday, BMRHOLIDAY, 20% discount, and also throw in a free skull cap helmet liner, which I love those. We've talked about them before. I must have acidic sweat because I will break out if I don't use mine on my
Mhm.
forehead after a day or two. And so this keeps that protected. So 20% off and that. So I know you're looking at the,
For sure.
the
I'll get
cool,
cool.
you're
cool
looking for
mesh.
the cool mesh gear, which
Yeah.
that's like Lycra style with armor in it.
Mhm.
And then you can wear your pants over the top, right?
Yeah. Jeans or any kind of jacket or shirt or whatever you want to do. Each sweatshirt.
Yeah, you can pretty much wear anything. So mesh armor is great. The armor is, you can take it out, wash the stuff really easy. It just becomes like a piece of clothing at that point.
Mhm.
I've loved mine so far. I've got the mesh pants and the cold air mesh or cold air top and bottom both.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. But I think I'm I'm actually going to look at the Kevlar jacket. So they have a Kevlar lined flannel.
Mm.
And I'm going to get it without the armor because I already have the armor for all in the thing. So it's just a really nice Kevlar jacket with a bunch of extra pockets.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea. I like the idea of having the armor attached on the inside layer because then it's right up against your skin. It doesn't move, right?
It doesn't move. I
Yeah.
mean, when I had mine, and it's more armor than the rest. It's got hip pads, and this is probably in my head, but I felt like I was more comfortable for longer. Like I almost felt like I could ride longer. And I don't know, maybe it's because like the armor that we were wearing before, we were always adjusting and you're trying to do
Mhm.
this. And it honestly turned invisible for me after the first about 20 minutes of riding.
Mhm.
Didn't even know I had it on. In fact, I think we went into that Ollie's garage place and I don't think I even took it off. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of weird looking, but I'm already weird looking, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we can't have recommended more. So 20% off BMR holiday. And we'll put that in the show notes
That
as well.
starts today, right?
It will start today, the 26th of November, 2024.
2024, right?
Yep,
Yep.
run for a week.
Perfect.
And then one more thing, because, we have everything from $12, but we also have something that's free, Todd.
What's
Yeah.
free?
You can give them this podcast.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, no. But for all fun, we're hoping to find things that list and will get everybody something that they need or could want. And these are just good things. I mean, all of these things, even if we had another one of them, if I already had it and that person, you don't know they have it, but they do, they'd still like all of these things again.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
yeah. Good.
Yeah.
If you liked the podcast today, please like and subscribe or sign up for our BMR Rider Alerts. It's our way of keeping you in the loop, and we promise no spam.
Keep the spirit of adventure alive and remember, bikes, friends, and endless roads, the stories ride forever. Take care.